first of all, thank you so much for even talking to us. I'm really excited to be here. Obviously, you can probably take your stuff anywhere in the world, and I know that SCAD has some ties to Project Runway, so why SCAD? Why Savannah?
No, I just thought it, I think first off, I think like what SCAD does for like the creative arts world is very impressive, and I think they kind of care more about it than I think people know, more than I remember like when I was in school. So I think that is probably why, and I think it's such an honor to like ask to have kind of a retrospective of that at all. So I think that was just really exciting, and I think that their attention to kind of like detail and support for young talent is really great. Yeah.
Everything they do is so amazing.
Yeah.
I'm blown away every time.
I mean, they support young designers. Established as such an all in the world of, which I think is also really cool.
Yeah. And so your exhibition downstairs, whenever I saw it the first time, I was just in
very
awe.
Very intense of color.
It's incredible.
You like walk in the room and you're like, oh. Yeah.
Which clearly I love.
Yeah.
So what do you hope that people feel whenever they walk in there?
I mean, I think it's definitely like, you definitely are like taken a bit back because it's quite emotional because it's very bold and colorful and the gradation of color, I think how we kind of set it is really cool. I think I think people should take away that it like represents all these different types of beauty and size and shape and gender, and all of that is in one place, in one room, but still in like a very beautiful way. So I think it's nice to see.
Yeah. Whenever somebody asks you what your favorite design you've ever done is, does it feel like you're choosing a favorite child? Like, can you even choose?
Yeah, and I can't choose necessarily because they all like mean different things.
Yeah.
Or like one memory is better than the other, and it could also sometimes even the process of making something could be more fun than another. So like I never really know how to pick what would be my favorite. But there's always good stories behind all of them, or bad stories. But yeah.
And so this is your first solo exhibition.
Yeah.
What does that feel like?
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, obviously because I'm still young, I'm 35 and, but I like that they're calling it the first decade, which is interesting because it is like kind of like my first decade of work. And if I'm around for another decade, then we'll have another one. But, we'll see. But it's really cool to see like, there's not a ton of early work in here, but there's a few that I think are really fun to like break out of the archives and see what we've done for a long time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And so have you been to Savannah before?
Yes, a ton.
What do you love about Savannah?
I love it. Oh my God, it's the most magical place. I mean, I think what's so cool about it, it's small town, but it's like, but it has a lot of culture in its own way because of SCAD and all the people that come here. But it's like kind of creepy, but kind of, but cool. And it's just such a unique place. Very hard to explain.
Yeah.
But great. Some of these people I've dressed for literally years.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting to see too. The progression of what happens, and like I really like even like Lady Gaga like has a look that's maybe 5 years old, and then a look that's like 5 months old. So that's kind of cool to see.
Yeah.
Like progression.
They grow, and I'm sure
everything
so
it's cool to
grows.
see things that like I did a long time ago, and then on the same wear by the same people. That's kind of fun.
I imagine that's so cool. Okay, I have one more question because I feel a little starstruck right now.
Tell me.
Do you ever feel starstruck?
I mean, no, because I've literally met so many people, and I don't get that way because then I kind of feel like it's actually the best way because I think everybody's can be normal in the right circumstance, and they should be because like who cares?
Yeah.
So that's how I treat it. Every now and then though, but like random people would make me excited. Like I don't know, like Lucy Lawless, who's Xena Warrior Princess, like that would get me more excited than like the president. I don't know.
Right. Is there anybody
Literally.
that you haven't designed something for that you would just love?
Honestly, not necessarily.
Yeah.
I try not to like do that anymore. I used to be like, oh, I have to dress this person, have to make it happen. But now I'm kind of like, it's sometimes actually the most memorable and exciting things are not on the most famous or known person, really.
Right.
So sometimes actually I've found that like the underdog gets the best moment in a way, you know? So that's been kind of cool.
That's really cool. And that checks out with everything that you're trying to do downstairs.
And then they become their own stars. I mean, like we did when we dressed Leslie Jones. Leslie Jones, that was a huge, iconic, crazy cultural moment. Billy Porter was, and and they were newer actors. It's not. So that's kind of cool to think about.
Yeah. What does that feel like?